The world's alliances are shifting, and the landscape of global power is undergoing a transformation unlike anything we've seen in decades. The old order, once so dominant and seemingly unshakable, is now fading into the background, its influence waning as new forces emerge. For much of the modern era, the United States and its Western allies set the rules of the game, shaping international institutions and guiding the world's economic and political direction. But today, new powers are rising on the global stage, and some old ones are reasserting themselves with renewed confidence, challenging the status quo. This isn't a sudden revolution, but a gradual, global realignment, one that's unfolding in boardrooms, parliaments, and on the streets of cities across continents. Trade disputes flare up, diplomatic relationships are tested, and new partnerships are being forged at a rapid pace. The world's economic and political map is being redrawn before our eyes. At the heart of this change is a growing desire among many nations for more autonomy, more influence, and a bigger say in shaping their own destinies. Countries are no longer content to simply follow the lead of traditional powers. Enter BRICS, a powerful bloc of fast-growing economies that's offering an alternative to the Western-led system. With each summit, BRICS is gaining momentum and credibility on the world stage. For the global South, BRICS provides a louder voice and a platform outside traditional Western institutions, allowing these nations to advocate for their interests and priorities in new ways. Now, in a stunning twist that few could have predicted, even Europe is feeling the pull of this new alliance. The gravitational force of BRICS is reaching far beyond its original members. Two European nations, Hungary and Serbia, are openly exploring BRICS membership, a move that would have been unthinkable just a decade ago, and signals a dramatic shift in allegiances. This signals a profound shift in global politics, forcing us to question not only the future of Europe, but also the very foundation of the Western alliance that has dominated for generations. The tectonic plates of power are moving beneath our feet, and the entire world is watching, waiting to see what will come next. What kind of order will emerge from this historic transformation? Will it bring greater cooperation, or new rivalries? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the world as we know it is changing. To truly grasp the impact of this moment, we need to look beyond the headlines and understand the deeper forces at play. At the heart of it all is BRICS, a group whose name you've probably heard, but whose significance is often underestimated. Originally coined as a simple investment acronym standing for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and later South Africa, BRICS has evolved far beyond its financial roots. Over the years, it has transformed into a powerful political alliance shaping the global conversation. Its members recognized a unique opportunity to challenge the long-standing dominance of Western powers in global institutions like the IMF and World Bank, and to create a new space for emerging economies to assert themselves. Since its first summit in 2009, BRICS has steadily expanded. Today it includes not just the original five but also Saudi Arabia, Iran, the UAE, Egypt, and Ethiopia, nations that bring new perspectives and resources to the table. Collectively, these countries represent a staggering portion of the world's population, economic output, and vital energy resources. Their combined influence is impossible to ignore. The creation of the new development bank was a game-changer, offering financing options outside the traditional Western-led system. This gives countries more choices and greater independence in pursuing their development goals. BRICS stands for principles like mutual respect and non-interference, values that resonate with many nations wary of outside intervention and eager for a more balanced world order. What's remarkable is BRICS's flexibility. Even historic rivals like India and China find common ground here, united by a shared vision for a multipolar world where no single power dominates. With its recent expansion and growing economic clout, BRICS is no longer just a talking shop. It's a serious player shaping the future of global affairs. For many smaller and developing nations, BRICS offers a vital platform to amplify their voices, advocate for fairer rules, and push for much-needed reforms in global governance. It's not just an economic club, it's a direct challenge to the status quo, signaling a shift in the balance of power. And now, as its influence grows, BRICS's appeal is reaching deep into Europe, sparking new debates about the future of international cooperation and competition. European interest in BRICS is a geopolitical shockwave. The EU, long a pillar of the West, now faces members looking eastward. Hungary and Serbia are at the center. Hungary, an EU and NATO member, Serbia, an EU candidate with close Russian ties. Both have clashed with Brussels and are now seeking new alliances. For them, BRICS offers economic opportunities and a chance to assert independence from Western dictates. This move challenges EU unity and raises tough questions about the bloc's future. How will the EU respond when its own members openly court a rival bloc? The world is watching, as this could set a precedent for others disillusioned with the Western order. Hungary and Serbia's pivot is more than a diplomatic maneuver. It's a statement about Europe's changing identity. The stakes for the EU and for global alliances have never been higher. Hungary's BRICS interest is the result of Prime Minister Orbán's Eastern opening policy. Orbán believes Western dominance is ending, and Hungary must bridge East and West. He's courted Chinese investment, built infrastructure with Chinese loans, and maintained energy ties with Russia. Joining BRICS would be the ultimate symbol of this strategy, diversifying Hungary's partnerships and reducing EU dependence. But the risks are huge. Hungary's economy relies on the EU, and antagonizing Brussels could bring economic and political backlash. Orbán is betting that closer ties with the East will outweigh the costs of Western isolation. For Hungary, BRICS is both a bold opportunity and a high-stakes gamble. The move could redefine Hungary's place in Europe or leave it dangerously isolated. The outcome will shape the country's future for years to come. Serbia's position is uniquely complex. While seeking EU membership and benefiting from European aid, Serbia also maintains deep ties with Russia, its key ally and energy supplier. This balancing act defines Serbian politics, pursuing EU integration without alienating Moscow. Interest in BRICS is a logical extension, offering Serbia leverage and a backup plan if EU accession falters. BRICS includes Russia and China, both major partners for Serbia. But Brussels has warned you can't sit on two chairs at once. Aligning with BRICS could freeze Serbia's EU talks and force a choice between East and West. Serbia's decision will determine whether it can remain a bridge or be forced to pick a side. The stakes are nothing less than the country's future direction. Hungary and Serbia's BRICS ambitions shake the EU to its core. The EU's strength lies in unity. A member breaking ranks weakens the whole bloc. If Hungary joins BRICS, it could create legal and economic headaches, conflicting trade rules, disrupted supply chains, and internal divisions. Serbia's flirtation with BRICS calls EU enlargement into question. Can a candidate country pursue rival alliances? The EU must decide, demand stricter loyalty, or adapt to a more complex world. Economically, the risks are real. The single market depends on cohesion. Politically, the EU's image as a model of prosperity and democracy is at stake. If members look elsewhere, the European dream loses its shine. The Union faces a period of soul-searching and tough choices. Its response will shape Europe's future in a rapidly changing world. In Brussels and Washington, the mood is tense and watchful. Policymakers and diplomats are closely monitoring the shifting alliances in Eastern Europe, aware that even subtle changes can have far-reaching consequences for the balance of power. Hungary and Serbia's recent pivot toward BRICS has sparked alarm and deep concern among Western leaders. These moves are seen not just as diplomatic gestures, but as signals of a broader realignment that could reshape the region's future. For the United States, this development is a clear sign of intensifying competition with China and Russia, two powers eager to expand their influence in Europe's backyard. BRICS, once viewed primarily as an economic club, is now wielded as a powerful political tool, capable of challenging Western unity and institutions. The idea that a NATO ally and a key European partner could be turning eastward is deeply unsettling for Washington and Brussels. It's perceived as a significant win for America's rivals, undermining decades of Western strategy. The European Union, after years of investment, partnership, and support for Hungary and Serbia, now feels a sense of betrayal and frustration. The trust that once underpinned these relationships is being tested. In response, expect stern warnings and the threat of real consequences, such as suspending crucial EU funds for Hungary or freezing Serbia's long-standing accession talks. These measures are meant to send a clear message. For Russia and China, however, this is nothing short of a strategic victory. It demonstrates their growing ability to attract new partners and challenge Western dominance. The presence of Hungary and Serbia in their orbit is proof of their expanding influence and the shifting global order. Yet not all BRICS members are eager to embrace this change. Some remain cautious, wary of importing Europe's internal disputes into their own alliance. They understand that new tensions could complicate cooperation and threaten the group's cohesion. The West now faces a difficult dilemma: how to respond without making the situation worse. Punishing Hungary and Serbia too harshly could push them even further away, deepening the divide and strengthening the hand of Russia and China. On the other hand, engaging with them and addressing their grievances might help rebuild trust and prevent a permanent rift. The response must carefully balance pressure with dialogue, using both incentives and consequences to guide future actions. Above all, it's crucial to keep the door open for reconciliation and future cooperation, even in the face of disagreement. The choices made now will set the tone for East-West relations in the years to come, shaping the global landscape for a generation. BRICS' expansion into Europe could reshape global power. The world is moving from US-led unipolarity to a multipolar order, with competing blocs. The West champions democracy and rules-based order. BRICS offers sovereignty and state-driven models. Hungary and Serbia's interest strengthens BRICS' case for reforming global institutions. As BRICS grows, it can pressure the old system or build its own alternatives, like the New Development Bank. This shift weakens Western tools like sanctions. BRICS members can trade and invest among themselves, reducing vulnerability. The global balance is tilting and the rules of the game are changing. The effectiveness of Western power is no longer guaranteed. The world's future will be shaped by how these new dynamics play out. Mid-2025 finds the world at a crossroads. Hungary and Serbia's BRICS ambitions reflect a broader fracturing of the old order. Will they join BRICS or use the threat for leverage with the West? The EU and US must choose between confrontation and conciliation. Each path carries risks. For BRICS, European members would boost prestige but could bring new internal tensions. The bloc must weigh the benefits of expansion against the challenges of diversity. Ultimately, countries now have real choices. Alignment with the West is no longer the only path. This new era will be unpredictable and test the wisdom of global leaders. The key question: will competition create a healthy balance or spark new confrontations? Decisions made in Budapest, Belgrade, Brussels, and Beijing will shape the world for years to come. The age of easy answers is over. The future is up for grabs.